I like big butts and I cannot lie. Please give me a big butt.
That sounds like a great intro. So,
Yeah, jumping right in because we don't have an intro or anything.
welcome everybody to the first ever episode of our podcast.
What did you want to call it?
I don't know yet.
Garbage podcast?
Yeah, we'll call it the Garbage Podcast for now until we have not shit videos.
There you go. I guess intros.
I'm Garbage Man. My real name's John.
Okay.
My YouTube channel is called Garbage Man TV. Right now I'm doing review style videos that are comedy focused. They're not that funny yet, but we'll get there one day. And I'm a basement dweller.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if we were going with real names or YouTube names or
Both.
I guess I don't really have a channel. I have a channel, but there's nothing on it. It's actually yogurt. Real name's Garrick. Also a basement dweller. I'm kind of planning on just doing whatever on YouTube, you know? What I'm passionate about. Games. So, probably mostly that. But yeah.
So this is gonna be a fun episode.
Lots of interesting things to discuss, you know. We've kind of got this little document up in front of us with topics, and we've already blown through 2 of them.
Yeah, introductions and future channels.
I guess we could go into kind of a little bit more detail on what we want to do with YouTube, and maybe include that in number 3, personal interests and hobbies.
Yeah. I mean, with my channel, right now, like I said, it's review style videos. I want to do a little bit more traditional unboxing videos.
Yeah, don't forget to mention that you are blatantly ripping off of multiple people.
I mean,
undisclosed, you'll have to watch the videos to find out who.
I mean, really, it's difficult to say you're not ripping off anybody. It's just I want to stylize it after
right,
certain
and that's
somebody.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, as
I
long
just
as
feel
I'm
like
not
it's
blatant.
important. Yeah, I just feel like it's important for you to mention that.
As long as I'm not blatantly stealing.
Yeah, like word for word or.
Which I don't think I have been, because I'm not that good yet.
Right.
Yeah, I want to go into more traditional style unboxings, you know, where you see people at their desk just unboxing shit. I don't know if I want to do more, I want to do gaming a little bit. That might be like a side thing.
Oh yeah, definitely a side channel.
I don't know if I want to make a second channel.
You should already be talking about a second channel.
yeah, with all 2 of my subscribers, in which I make 50% of. But yeah, no, like the gaming will be a little off, you know, a one-off every once in a while. Not a gaming centered channel, because I suck at a lot of video games, even though that's all I do.
Yeah, and it's not really so fun to watch people who suck at games unless they're already pre-established.
Yeah.
You know?
Like PewDiePie!
Right. Yeah, I guess, I kind of don't really know exactly how YouTube is going to work out, you know? I'd like to try a whole bunch of different things, and, you know, I don't want to try to force anything because I feel like that's a step in the wrong direction from the very beginning. So I just want to, you know, do what I'm passionate about or do videos on what I'm passionate about, which is unfortunately, not conducive to a productive lifestyle. It's just playing video games and watching fucking movies and anime and cartoons and whatnot. But I mean, there's a lot of people like that. So I feel like my plan as of right now is to just kind of dip my toes into a bunch of different types of videos and see if any of them garner any sort of, viewership at all, and maybe go from there.
Yeah, because I don't know if you want to give away what you're planning on doing, because I know you're talking to me about it, but, yeah, you said you wanted to mostly be like a gaming channel right now, so you had a couple ideas for that.
Right, and
as
far as progress goes, that's the only thing I've really made any towards.
Yeah, but I mean, the way you were talking to me about it sounded rather unique compared to a lot of gaming channels, which is just straight up talking about, just talking while they're playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like it's definitely an oversaturated market, no matter how you look at it.
That's been like around for years. That's how YouTube was pretty much started.
Right. But I mean, you can look anywhere. Like even just last night, I was just trying to fall asleep watching some videos, and I found like 2 channels that I guess I'd watched videos from before, and that's why they were recommended to me. But each one was like around like the 250,000, 400,000 mark.
Yeah.
Which is definitely like making some money at that point. But just smaller channels, and all they did was games and stuff. So.
Yeah, which isn't bad. It's like certainly like that's kind of what our goal. I mean, my goal at least for is right now is just have like a community and earning enough money to move out.
Yeah,
is mostly what I think our goals are.
Mm-hmm. Although I feel like that's gonna come from not YouTube. Well, I feel like YouTube will be easier with moving out, and then hopefully if some income can eventually come by, it'll just be like another thing.
Yeah,
I don't think either of us are ready to drop off and quit our careers,
quote unquote careers. I clean houses for a living, and you're unemployed currently.
Technically, I'm employed in my dad's company, but I only work like once a month when they really need extra guys.
And just to preface this, he's not rich. Garrick himself is not rich.
No, it's a new business. He's only got like 6 employees, which is why every once in a while, when there's a big job and they just need extra, like, meat to sit around and clean things, I get pulled in.
Yeah, I just don't want anybody thinking that.
Oh yeah, that I'm super privileged.
Yeah.
Any of the 0 people that are gonna watch this.
Hey, you never know. Podcasting.
Right.
I mean, the big thing, the reason why I wanted to do podcasts is because they're popping off right now. Not to sound like we're just hopping on the cash cow, but
we're hopping on the cash cow.
We're hopping on the cash cow, and I mean, I figured it was an easy thing to get into since,
right.
I mean, all it is talking, and we talk all the time, so it's like, why not?
Yeah. People can listen to our velvety voices and potentially fall in love with us, or...
Yeah,
I don't know.
Ladies,
just relate.
Ladies, gentlemen, we're single.
But yeah, the thought just kind of occurred to me, but this could... Since we don't really have a name or a direction, this could kind of just be like a documentation of the journey. Because right now, you have, 3 videos? Like, only 2 of them are uploaded?
Well, no, 3 of them are uploaded, and I've got a 4th one that we recorded the other day.
Yeah, and I haven't even uploaded anything. I've just recorded some gameplay. But yeah, like, this could be a cool, like, every step of the way kind of thing. We meet up and talk every week or however often we're going to plan on doing it.
Yes.
And if anything ever happens, there's the backlog, and those who are interested can potentially come back and see where it all started.
Yeah. I don't know if hopefully we can do this every week. We're kind of working around our family right now,
Yeah, that's the moving out thing.
Yeah, so, right now it might be some shit, but I think eventually our content will get better. Some of us will start uploading content.
Right. And I guess I can kind of, like, there's no harm in me going into kind of what I want to do, because you definitely said what you were planning on doing. But, yeah, once again, the channel name is Actually Yogurt, which just kind of came because yogurt was taken, and that's kind of what my gaming persona has been since 2008 when the Wii came out, and I had to make a Mii, and I didn't want to name the Mii after myself, so I sat there and I went, I'll name him Yogurt.
Strawberry yogurt?
No, just yogurt.
Oh no, your Steam profile picture's like
Yeah.
strawberry yogurt.
Yeah, I change up my Steam profile every once in a while to different cups of yogurt, different flavors. Right now it's Wii, because that was like a weird Greek yogurt thing. I don't know. But yeah, I guess I had this whole crazy idea that I'd have all these different video types, and they'd all be like actually something. So like actual gameplay, or just gameplay. Actual commentary, or no, that's like the same thing. Actual gameplay commentary, or actual stories, like a story time thing, or actual talk, which would be kind of like updates or whatever.
You could do actually vlogging.
Actually vlogging.
Casey
All right, guys.
Neistat here.
Actual yogurt here, and I'm actually vlogging, and then like. But like it goes everywhere. Actual reviews was one that I came up with the other night, because most of these things I made like back in high school, and like I'm 21 right now, so I've been out of high school for a couple years, 3 years, almost going on 4 years.
Yeah.
But oh shit, I lost my train of thought. Actual reviews. I watched this one I came up with like literally a day ago. I watched some video on YouTube of a guy eating a MRE, a meal ready to eat, from like 33 years ago. And it was just like some random video with like 12,000 views or something like that. And I was like, it'd be funny to just be like, yeah, this is the shit that I actually watch. And then it could expand also into like movie reviews or TV shows or animes or whatever.
You have to get good at that though.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to make like a little what you want to grade movies on.
Yeah. And
I guess not necessarily. You can just talk about how much you like the movie.
Right. And I'd probably start off with like movies I'm really familiar with or whatever.
Like The Iron Giant or whatever.
Yep, it's my favorite.
Yeah, because you don't always have to do like recent new movies. You could go back.
Yeah. A little bit less stressful that way, trying to stay on top of things all the time. I can't imagine doing that at this point in my life.
Yeah, not with what little money we have.
But yeah, I don't really know how copyright stuff would work with that. Like if I would just re-upload this person's video with me talking over it, or like just do clips of it and have like a compilation of like I made a playlist actually on my personal YouTube account, which isn't the one that I plan on uploading to, but I just named it like, why did I watch this? And then I was like, yeah, I'd take videos from that and be like, look, I found this. It's like some guy eating a 30-year-old military grade meal. Here's another one of some guy going around netting these fat birds from the water that can't fly, and then he rips their heads off with their stomachs still attached. It's like, what the fuck? And that's true. I watched that yesterday as well.
Yeah, no, you said I saw your post on Twitter, which I was gonna post our social media information down below in the description. So.
Oh geez, I don't know if I want to do that.
Well, no, like
maybe I'll make an official.
That's
Twitter.
Yeah, no, that's what I did. So I'll definitely post my Twitter.
Okay, and then I'll make an official Twitter.
Yeah. So we'll have that for you. But going back to what you're saying about like copyright stuff, I know for like movie reviews, what people do now is just the trailers. They'll just talk over the trailers. Because, yeah, before people were using just, small clips of the movie and whatnot.
Right. And I think you can also do, like, screenshots. I think
Maybe.
you could just do, like, still screenshots if you're, like, talking about, like, a point.
Yeah.
You can, like, pop it up.
Yeah, no, I know before when people were just using small clips throughout the movie, they were just getting, flagged.
And not that that would
strike.
really be a problem right now. Because, like, I mean, as long as it's not the kind of strike that gets your channel taken away.
Yeah.
It's just, like, the kind that takes revenue. I'm not making any revenue.
Yeah.
Soon, so.
We're not on the YouTube algorithm yet, but
I definitely don't want to step on any toes or anything, so.
yeah.
It's better to just do things by the books. By the increasingly complicated books.
Yeah. I think that kind of wraps up our channels, what we want to do with them.
Yeah, our overly ambitious plans.
I
I could definitely keep going on, but yeah, we should probably wrap that section up.
Personal interests and hobbies, that's not really, I mean, granted, we already talked about it, like,
Video
games, anime,
moving away from our family.
getting the fuck out. Yeah, I guess we could expand on that a little bit more. We could talk about favorite games,
favorite movie,
yeah,
favorite place to move away from your family.
yeah, and kind of like hobbies that we don't have yet. I don't know if you have any hobbies you want to have, but like
definitely, I was talking to you about that the other day.
Yeah. So
bees,
bee farming. Yeah, I guess we could start with our common ground, one that everybody could relate to, just video games and anime.
Cool.
Favorite.
Well, now you're being a little presumptuous. Everyone likes anime? No.
Unless a lot of people. I don't know if I said everyone or a lot of people, but
nobody likes anime.
Yeah,
anime
fuck
is
anime.
terrible.
You stupid ass weebs. I'll beat the shit out of you if I see you at the gym. Yeah, my favorite game, series. I'm wearing it right now. It's not this particular. Hey, and you are too. We're in the same room, by the way. We're recording on one mic because we're poor.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't have one.
My personal favorite game series used to be Halo. I say used to be just because I don't like what 343 has done with Halo 4 or 5 yet. So, Halo Infinite got announced a while ago. We just got a new trailer at E3 that kind of sucked ass. But, yeah, no, I played Halo when I was a young kid. Halo 1 was fucking amazing. Still my favorite Halo to this day. And that could just be a bit of nostalgia. Seeing it through cherry tinted glasses. If that's rose tinted glasses.
Yeah, anime taught me that one.
But I loved Halo 1, 2, and 3. Halo 3 ODST. Much like most people, I didn't like it. Halo Reach I thought was amazing all around. I know Halo Reach was one of the games where it's like you either loved it or hate it, which is kind of odd to me because like people loved it or hate it for different things. Like some people hated or loved the campaign, but they loved or hated the multiplayer or loved or hated the Forge mode and the custom games. I loved it all. I thought it was just amazing. If you use sprint in Halo Reach, you're a bitch. But other than that, yeah, I thought everything was just amazing about that game. Probably my second favorite Halo game, right after Halo 1. And then there was like a couple off Halo games that I never played, like the top-down shooters. There was Halo Wars though. Halo Wars 1 was great. I thought that's one of my favorite RTSs. It was just a great implementation of Halo and RTS. I think that was done perfectly. Unfortunately, they ruined it with like the remaster or whatever they did. I don't know if you know. Oh, they released it on Steam. I don't know if you have it.
No, but I did own the original Halo Wars on Xbox for like a week before my little brother broke it.
Rip.
Yeah, it's funny that I was thinking while you were talking, your favorite series is Halo, and I've almost never played it. And my favorite series, you've probably almost never played.
Nope.
But here we are, best of friends.
Wanting to move out together and have gay ass sex.
Right. But yeah, aside from like I did like a lock-in at my church a couple years ago, and the janitor was playing Halo, and we were playing like Romans and Catholics, or which is basically just hide and seek tag. And I hid behind the couch and I watched the church janitor play the game. I don't even know which Halo it was, but it was on the original Xbox.
Yeah, it was either one or two.
I watched him play it for a while. You know, one of my friends from high school, or it wasn't even high school, he moved away, 8th grade. I went to his house and I played on the 360 some multiplayer with him. And then, yeah, when I was like really young, we got an Xbox 360 for Christmas. Halo Wars was one of the games we had, but my little brother wanted his turn, and I wasn't giving it to him, his turn on the Xbox, so he kicked it. He jumped on the table that the little coffee table our TV was on, and the Xbox was there too, and we had it standing vertically, and he, in his rage, kicked it, knocked it off the like 2-foot high coffee table, and like the little like laser that reads the disc, like probably like bounced or whatever, and it scratched a ring into the CD.
That'll destroy it.
So I could play up until level 7, which was like which was like the first level that wasn't a tutorial. And then it would go into this cutscene, and it would freeze every time, and there was nothing I could do. Also, we didn't have Xbox Live or Gold or anything, whatever it was at the time, so I didn't do multiplayer.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I actually, for the most part, as a kid, I didn't have Xbox Live either. I would always go on the hunt. It's back in the 360 days. They used to give out trials like a motherfucker. So I would always get like 24 hours or like 3 days or a week trials. And I would get those from everywhere, like all my neighbors.
Video, neighbors, friends.
Yeah. And I was so happy when I would get like the 1 month trials, because those were like golden. And then I remember even one time I got a 3-month trial. I shit my pants. Like, yeah, that was just amazing. And yeah, so I don't even know if that was like that wasn't even a trial. It was just like I got a code, just a straight up 3-month code. I might have saved up for that actually, from doing shit, but I didn't get an allowance as a kid. I just was allowed to live in my house.
Yep.
So,
and even then, you had to fucking do chores to earn that, right?
Yeah,
same here.
But,
that business only started up 2 years ago. My dad was unemployed for most of my childhood.
Yeah, so, I've been, I played Call of Duty and Halo as a kid, and those used to be my favorite series. And Call of Duty, for the most part, wasn't rose-tinted. Those were just good games back then. And the Xbox Live Party Chat back then was also hilarious. You could literally... Every lobby was just like a black dude screaming at like a little kid who was crying, calling him a little dick nigga. And it was just fucking hilarious. And luckily, my parents were... smart and cautious enough to not buy me a microphone because they were worried about me, but I'm glad they didn't, because I would have been the little kid getting made fun of. Yeah. So,
and now look how you turned out. The big kid getting made fun of.
Yeah.
Should have got it out of the way when you were young.
I know. Maybe I would have learned how to make fun of people then. But yeah, no, that's how I played online a lot, and that was pretty fun. Halo 3 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was just awesome. I remember liking Modern Warfare as a kid, but when it got remastered, I just hated it. But yeah, those are my favorite games. Let's talk about Zeldor.
Yeah, so over here, didn't play any of that shit. Period. He says his parents were cautious. Well, my parents didn't even tell me that I had a TV in my house until I was like 6 or 7 years old. We had one of those, like, it was just like a TV cabinet, you know, and the doors were always closed and locked. And I was like, I don't have a reason to go in there. I'm just going to go play outside and roll in some dirt or something.
Poor bastard.
I definitely became infatuated with Nintendo from a young age and have kind of remained so since then. I think I went to like a picnic with my mom at her friend from work's house, and their kids had a Nintendo 64, and we played Mario Party, one of them. I don't know which one, and since then I was kind of hooked. Zelda is definitely my favorite franchise, my favorite game, but I'll get into that in a little bit. You know, I'll kind of go chronologically. I actually ended up getting a PlayStation 2 as my first console, probably around the time I was 9 or 10, maybe 8. And I went to Toys R Us with my grandma, and I wanted Mario. And the look on that Toys R Us employee's face, I'll never forget. He was like, he was like, what system do you have? And I was like, PlayStation 2. Like, all like, I know, I'm so smart because I know what system I have. And he's like, you're stupid. Yeah, it was rough. But it kind of led me towards like my other favorite franchises. So, you know, it was a good experience. PlayStation 2, everyone knows, is like one of the most successful, if not the most successful gaming platform ever.
Well, I think Xbox actually beat it.
No, that's not true at all, I don't think.
I don't know. I'd have to do... Cause I remember the console... That was, I mean, the year the console wars started.
Mm-hmm.
It's like before, I mean, you know, there's other companies.
I feel like Xbox had certain things over PlayStation, but I think PlayStation, on like a market perspective, way outsold the Xbox. And I know, like, it was being made for a long time. You know, like the Xbox 360 came out, and PlayStation 2 was still very prevalent.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe it was the Xbox 360 that destroyed PS3 then.
Maybe. I kind of missed that generation, so.
I mean, yeah, I had both. I had a PS3 years after and 360. Like, basically right before the PS4 came out, I got a PS3. So, like, I mean, I pretty much missed out on...
Yeah, so we're both underqualified.
I mean, but no, we had a 360 when that came out. So, that's how, you know, how I played my games. And you're talking about how, you know, you were introduced. I was introduced to like Halo and Call of Duty because I'm the youngest of 4, and my oldest brother, he played Halo, and that's just, you know, how I got into it. Because I would go into his room and play on his 360, and then eventually he got so mad he kept complaining to my parents, and then they just bought us our own 360.
Yeah,
to keep him happy.
I'm the second oldest out of 5.
Your parents just tell you to share? 3
sisters, and the first one wasn't interested in anything video game related, so that was all me. And I don't know, I just kind of like the same, like from a different perspective. I would like play games, and everyone would kind of gather around, and we'd take turns, but for the most part, I'd just make them watch me. And oh man, I had a great time, and I want to believe they had a great time, because we used to like role play as certain characters and just fuck around after beating the main game, or even before beating the main game.
That's more than my parents ever did. My dad, back when we had the original Xbox, all he did was like he would play a bicycling game.
Your dad did?
Yeah, that was like the only game he played. It was like a kind of like a Tony Hawk skater game, but with bikes.
Bad. Yeah, my dad never played games. My uncle gave him Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And he played that on the PlayStation like one time, and then like, you know, shot somebody and was like, oh, this is a violent game, and he put it on top of the refrigerator, and it stayed there until we moved, and I found it again, and it was just covered in dust, and I was like, hey, Uncle Joe, look what I found. You know, at that point I was like going into 8th grade, so. But yeah, Favorite video games. Started with a PlayStation. Kind of got some of my favorite series there, but the main thing was Zelda. That was what I kind of I played my PlayStation, but I always kind of liked Nintendo, and I watched Nintendo things on YouTube, and I talked about Nintendo things on the playgrounds with my friends, and it took me years and years. Well, I guess 3 years actually, because I bought it in 2009. But when the Wii came out in 2006, I really wanted one, but my parents were like, "We bought you a PS2. We're never buying you a game system ever again." So I saved birthday money, Christmas money, chore money, any sort of money I could get. And by 2009, I was able to buy a Wii, and it came with Wii Sports Resort. But the first ever Zelda game I played was Twilight Princess, and it probably through nostalgia remains my favorite to this day. Since then I've played just about every other Zelda game and collected every other Nintendo console via various part-time jobs and also birthday money and whatnot. But with the exception of like the Oracle games, never played those, and Minish Cap, haven't played that one either. But yeah, I pretty much love unconditionally all Zelda games, even the ones that are considered not so great. I guess Breath of the Wild, since that's relevant, can talk about that. Playing it, I enjoyed it, but looking back on it, kind of disappointed. It really strayed from the Zelda formula that I love so much. Absolutely no presence of dungeons, and yeah, the puzzle solving was more throughout the world, but I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I've played through most of not Wind Waker. I have played through most of Wind Waker, but I've played most of Link's Stinky Shit in the Woods. But
I couldn't tell you which one that is. That's most of them.
But no, Breath of the Wild,
okay.
Breath of Fresh Air. I definitely liked it. Probably my favorite one, just because I hate puzzles because I'm not I'm not smart. So when if it's not fast-paced shooting somebody, it pisses me off. So but I played it on master mode, and me and my friend Nate were playing through that, and that we started when master mode came out. I haven't finished it, by the way, but I think I defeated like 3 of the 4 giant shitters.
I can't even remember what they're called, like guardian spirits or something like that.
Something like that. But
oops, shows you how much I retained from that game. I didn't really care about it too much.
I mean, I definitely liked it.
I'm a little bit upset that they're making a sequel. To be
definitely straying from the
100% honest. Every time, well, the one other time Zelda's gotten a direct sequel, Phantom Hourglass to Spirit Tracks. Spirit Tracks was fine.
Wasn't there another one?
Well, technically, like Wind Waker is like before all of them, but then it's like, they kind of sail off at the end of Wind Waker to find a new world, and that's kind of where Phantom Hourglass starts up, is they already found it. And then by the end of Phantom Hourglass, they're doing like the same shit, and they're leaving Hyrule again to find New Hyrule, which is where.
But I felt like wasn't Majora's Mask a sequel to Ocarina of Time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's also. I guess that's true. I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, those games are both good. But last time we got a sequel, the first one sucked, and the second one was only a little bit better. And I have a feeling, the human mind is conditioned to remember bad stuff more than good stuff. I have a feeling it's going to be like that again. So I just hope they can make dungeons.
I feel like you're in the minority with a lot of the hardcore Zelda fans.
Oh, no, you know what? A long time ago, people used to like shit on Twilight Princess for being like a rip-off Majora's Mask. Like it was trying to be sad and dark and whatever, but with like the recent uprising of tier lists and stuff, like
thank God for that.
I swear Twilight Princess was like one of the higher ranked ones, and I feel like I feel like, what was it, Skyward Sword? When that came out, it was kind of like a super popular one, but then Ego Raptor didn't like it, and now that one's like down on the bottom.
Yeah, that's all I hear is like people shitting on it.
I like that one a lot. So in that sense, yeah, I'm against the majority, but
no, for like Breath of the Wild, I feel like a lot of the hardcore fans are like you, where it's like, oh, it strays away from the, what Zelda is. But a lot of the newer players, like me, like it just because it's not so puzzle orientated. It's more, okay, here's your 4 guardians, here's the bunch of dungeons that aren't too difficult.
Yeah, the little mini puzzles.
Yeah. So there's a lot of newer fans who like that, and they're just catering to those right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then the whole entire open world bandwagon.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I'm not a huge fan of open world per se, but I think it definitely works for Breath of the Wild.
I liked Skyrim.
Hey, Skyrim.
But that was like I don't know. I like Skyrim as far as open world goes, but when it comes to open world games, I find myself not completing them more often than not, because it's just like I have that kind of completionist like thing in me, that bug in me, and it's like I just like, oh my god, there's so much to do and I don't have that much time.
Yeah, the problem I have with the open world is like usually it just takes forever to get somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if there's not like fast travel.
Yeah, which most games do have.
Yeah, a lot of them do have, but some of them don't.
The initial you have to get there.
Yeah, and it's just like traveling across these huge open fields. It's like, sure, you can come across something cool or interesting, but it's like a lot of the time it's just like I'm sitting there bored out of my fucking mind, holding the left analog stick in one direction.
How many times are you going to be like have your breath taken away by
a fucking hill,
an in-game world with like wind blowing through grass before it's like, okay.
I never care about the environments, which is a good thing in a way, just because like usually that's one of those things where it's like if they're doing it good, then you don't think about it, and if they're doing it bad, then you're thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't particularly care about environments at all. So when it's like, oh, we have a huge world filled with beautiful scenery, it's like, oh great, I have to hold the left analog stick for 5 fucking hours before I can get to the next mission. It's like that's why I don't like open worlds per se. And it's like even when they do have fast travel, like I'm thinking of Assassin's Creed Odyssey right now. I 100%ed that, by the way, but I
never played it.
It's so annoying to fast travel somewhere and then have to walk or run or ride your horse for 10 minutes to get to the objective, because the fast travel points in that game are so fucking retarded. A majority of them, like especially on a lot of the small islands, it's just like there's one there, and they recently added more, but like even still, it's like I remember there's like one on a building, and then like there's another one just a short distance away on the dock, just so you can teleport there and like summon your boat there. It's like, okay, well, that doesn't get me any closer to like the mission that's in the middle of a fucking mountain. So like I still have to climb the mountain, which is a pain in the ass and annoying as hell. So it's like I'm definitely not a fan of open world unless I can get somewhere fast and do what I want to do fast, which I think is a problem with a lot of open world games.
Yeah, I just think I think I'm getting overcritical of them, as time goes on, because it's just
oversaturated,
more and more of them.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, let's kind of get back towards the one topic. I didn't interrupt you when you were talking about your games.
Oh.
Yeah, Zelda's great. From my PlayStation days, though, I really got into like the Jak and Daxter series.
Yeah, which I've not played.
Those are great. It's a common theme. All of the games we like, the other has not played. Kingdom Hearts was I sunk so many hours into that game, and then was let down by the open world Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even beat.
Yeah.
But you know what? I still love the series, even though I really only played 1 and 2. They're great. Definitely great games. Keep going. But yeah. I guess we can kind of move on. I would feel like we've just been talking about games for a long time.
Yeah.
Our next little topic was how we met.
So, we met in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time. Well, not the first time I met Garrick, but I just remember him in middle school being one of like the emo goth kids, because he used to hang out with all like the emo, like black hair, black lipstick, black everything
Piercings
people.
at the age of 15.
Yeah, and it's like I'll let you explain that. But
Yeah,
that was my first impression of Garrick.
I guess it kind of is important that I start with the origin, because I originally did not live in our current area. We're in Indiana. I used to live in Illinois, so super huge move.
I mean, it is though.
For a kid,
Yeah.
But now with phones and whatever, it's not that big of a deal. I still talk to my 2 or 3 best friends from Crete.
Yeah.
Oops, I said the name of the town. Oh well, that's
Yeah.
fine. I don't live there anymore. But yeah, my parents definitely wanted us to move from like the time I was in like 3rd grade. I remember being all like teary-eyed coming to school. Guys, I have bad news. We're going to move. Unfortunately, that was right around when like the market was crashing, and it took us until my 7th grade year to actually move out. So I had a pretty established life over there in Illinois. I was friends with a lot of people, and then right when I was about to be on top of the food chain, I got put right back down to the bottom. Brand new kid, 8th grade year. I remember when I got to school. No, even before then, I was like 4'10" back then, and not much better. I'm like a foot taller now, but 4'10" is pretty short. Maybe even shorter than that. Basically, I got to my bus stop. I went to go sit in the back of the bus because nobody else was there. Turns out there were people there. And then I instantly got berated because only 8th graders were allowed to sit in the back of the bus. So I was like, okay, I am an 8th grader, but I'm not going to argue. Sat in the middle of the bus. My bus had like 13 kids on it, so I was just alone. Also, my bus came like an hour before school started, so I had the pleasure of sitting in the gym for 40 minutes before I could start the day. I watched as all these people I didn't know kind of flood in, and one guy was like, "Hey, I'm so and so. What's your name?" "Hi, I'm Garrick." And then I left because I didn't want to he seemed like he was popular, and more and more people started coming up, and I was just like, yeah, bye. So I went.
I don't want to meet people.
I went and I left, and I was sitting all alone. So of course, like kind of like the I feel bad saying this because I still think they're great people, but like the weirdos, kind of assimilated me, and then turned out that I had the same first class period as one of the guys that was there, and they were wearing like a gaming related shirt, and kind of just fell into that group. But yeah, eventually as I kind of opened up, I was attracted more to like the people that are more like me, because I was for a while there emo depresso. I just moved and I lost all my friends, but that doesn't last long. I was a kid. And yeah, Josh was part of that group of a little bit less weirdos.
Slightly. We're the next step up.
That are still into games, just not into
sitting in our parents' basement.
Yeah, just not into like Linkin Park and
Air
Die and drugs.
Yeah. We're the pussies.
Right.
But yeah, no. I remember Garrick first seeing him. He had very long hair. It was like covering his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very quiet at first, which is complete opposite of what we are now. But even back then, I was a fat kid.
Yeah, I don't even remember what you looked like, to be honest.
I always had a buzz cut. I had like the thin metal glasses, and fat as hell. And that was because my sister broke my hand by pushing me over a fence. That'll be a story for another time. But
so he gained weight because of his hand.
no, I gained a shit ton of weight because.
But yeah, story for another time.
Yeah, another time. But yeah. So we definitely weren't popular kids, but you know, we had really great friends that we still talk to -1. But
you know,
we're hoping he comes back around. But
yeah,
no, like kind of very just, you know, game orientated people.
Later on, we all started watching anime.
Yeah, we all kind of started watching anime as a group, minus a couple kids in our group.
I was definitely an early adopter. You know, I gotta flex that really quick. You know?
No, I
I watched Soul Eater as it came out on YouTube.
I wasn't, you know, I remember you guys all loved that. Like you, I won't name the others, but you know, there's a couple others. But I remember Big Genesis showed me that, or told me to watch it, so I watched it. I didn't like it all that much. I thought it was, especially that ending, which I know a lot of people don't like. It was just like a complete like shit show. I just did not like the show whatsoever. I thought it was very boring and like there was no character development and what.
So this podcast is over now. I'm going home.
We're no longer friends. But
yeah, I liked Soul Eater, but that could have been a product of its time, you know.
Yeah.
I definitely started watching anime as like a young kid though, before I even knew what it was, you know.
Yeah.
4W kids watching Pokemon.
Yeah, no, there's definitely like, you know, shit back then that we watched. Like I remember one of the first ones I watched was like Naruto or Inuyasha, which I watched Inuyasha, you know, in high school, like all the way through.
I actually just started watching that again. I'm on like episode 4 right now.
Dude, yeah.
I never watched the whole thing. I just caught episodes here and there.
Hey, we could we watch that together.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was like my first favorite anime I've ever watched. Amazing, by the way. It's like, it's amazing up until like, because the show's called Inuyasha, and then it goes all the way up until like you get to the final boss, and then it stops, and it's called like Inuyasha, and then I think Final Act, and that is just so horrible. I only watched 2 episodes of it because it was just completely rushed, and well, that's it. Like it was just so blatantly rushed. It was so awful. Like I'm not one to review anime and shit, but like that's just
me. Back off.
Yeah, but no, that was so awful. But Inuyasha, straight up Inuyasha, amazing. One of the other ones I watched that I really want to watch, but I can't because it's so cringily bad. It's called Bobobo.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people know about that.
Basically anything that was on for kids, you know,
Yeah.
like One Piece, Naruto, Inuyasha.
But that show is just so crazy that I really want to watch it. But like, I tried watching it years ago, and I just can't. Like, that's something you have to watch as a kid because it is just so nutty and random.
It's a product of its time.
It is, but like, yeah, it's something else.
Mm-hmm. I guess I kind of also feel like I gotta mention Dragon Ball Z. That was a big one.
I never watched that actually.
I wasn't allowed to. Out of all of the crazy Japanese shows, my parents probably didn't even know it was Japanese. Dragon Ball annoyed them to high hell because of the screaming.
Kamehameha!
So the one time I tried watching it, and to this day I still haven't really watched much, but I gotta fix that eventually. It's just a lot.
Yeah.
The one time I tried watching it, it was like a minute of screaming, and they just came in and said, "Don't watch this anymore." What else though?
Yeah.
Sailor Moon. Oh, dude, I had a babysitter that I probably could credit towards making me a weeb without me knowing. They used to put on. She used to come to our house. She was my older sister's friend's older sister. So that's how she knew us. She used to make us TV dinners in the microwave and put on Sailor Moon. And I don't know. That was a good time for me. But I definitely don't think I started getting into anime until I would come home from school and with my older sister. You know, she wasn't into video games, but anime she liked. We would on our slow ass internet open up a couple tabs of YouTube and load up like 3 episodes at a time of Soul Eater. So then by the time, you know, we were done with one, the second one was loaded, and then the original tab went to like the 4th episode, and you know, we'd like cycle through and watch like 5 episodes a day or something like that.
Nice.
It was a good time.
I know we also watch, I don't know if you watched it, but Fairy Tale. That was popular in our group.
Yeah, I tried. I got pretty far, but the time skip kind of turned me off, and I just stopped after that.
I just hate long running anime, so that's why I stopped. And going back and looking at it now, it is so bad. Like the animation itself, just the animation, like everybody has huge ass bug eyes and shit, and it's just like, this is awful. Yeah. I cannot.
I don't have a problem with long running anime. I actually just finished watching all of Naruto and Shippuden like a year ago now. It was kind of a while ago, but that was like a first time thing. I was like, okay.
But you also you Googled like the time skip or like the non-canon stuff, right? And you skipped that.
Well, I watched it at ×2 speed.
Ah.
So I cheated a little bit, but I wanted to be like, I watched all of Naruto. So.
Okay.
And then, you know, like the next thing, or one of the next things I haven't started, I guess I did start it, was Inuyasha. You know, I'm trying to go and watch all of these longer shows that I got pieces of. You know, eventually I'd like to do probably Dragon Ball and then Z. You know, I'd like to watch One Piece, but that's probably going to be last because that's so long.
Yeah, shit. I mean, hell, you got through Naruto.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But even then, like, all of Naruto isn't even, like, as long as One Piece is, and One Piece is still being made. So.
That's true. But,
shoot. I guess. Oh, what was I gonna say? I didn't really start watching anime when I did. Like, I liked anime when I watched Soul Eater, I think. But it's just a funny story. That's why I brought it up. I think that when I started marathoning, the first show that got me into that was Rosario plus Vampire.
Yeah. Hey, I watched that too.
That was the show. It came at the perfect time. You know, it was after I had moved, you know, like when I met you guys, probably either 8th grade year or maybe like the summer between that and freshman year. I went back, you know, as one of those privileged moments where my mom would drive me back to Crete and I could hang out with one of my friends. He had Netflix on his Wii, and he showed me this show with some big titty anime girls. And I was like,
Amen.
wow, this is what I've been missing in life. And we probably watched half of it, or like most, like I think the first season was only 12 episodes.
Yeah.
We probably watched 4 or 5 episodes, and then he went to bed. But that night I watched every single episode of the show until the sun was coming up, at which point I was like, shit, and I slept for like an hour, and then he got up, and that was good. That was my start. That's what I wanted to like get to that point before we moved on to another topic. just because I like that story.
Yeah, that's. I vaguely remember you telling me that before, because I remember I didn't watch that until Rosario plus Vampire until like after the second season came out, and then a little after that even. But yeah, no.
Yeah, that's actually the first. Not only was it the first show I marathoned, but it was the first manga that I read from start to finish.
Dude, I didn't start reading manga until junior year. And that was because Maximum got me into that. Showed me a website that I still use to this day.
Yeah, the same guy I was talking about, he was definitely introduced to the world of boobies before I was. Whenever I would go hang out with him a lot, and whenever I would come over, we would go and we'd sleep in the basement because it was kind of like a separate area of the house. But he'd have to go down there for like 10 minutes before I was allowed to, because that was his dad's man cave, and he had like porn star posters up and like magazines and these little figurines, they were like little anime girl figurines.
Yeah.
With their tits hanging out, and that's actually the one thing that Rufuffle had to do that for a very, very long time until he forgot to put away those little figurines. And then after that, he was like, oops. And then we just went downstairs and enjoyed, looking at his dad's collection while also playing video games and whatnot.
Playing video games.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I can't remember really what got me consistently started on watching anime. That was probably just high school, all of us, talking about different shit. So.
Oh, but shit, I forgot what I was going after with that. The anime titty figure guy, he showed me, what was it, Monster Musume or something like that?
Monster Musume.
Yeah, he showed
that
me,
was awesome.
He showed me that manga, and that's what got me started in manga, because, it was that age where all I really cared about was some boobies and
and we're still there at that age.
Yep, and that age was 15 until forever.
Yeah. Dude, the Monster Musume, I don't think it really gets updated or released anymore.
No, I think I heard something about the mangaka getting sick or something, and he was trying to refocus his life or something like that. He had some sort of crisis, or I don't know. Oh well.
A tragedy.
I'm still caught up with it.
Yeah, so am I. Although I haven't checked on it in months, so I don't know, maybe they did release a new chapter. But yeah, I can't really tell what got me into anime per se.
Mm-hmm. I guess maybe we can move on then to your favorite anime.
My favorite anime?
Yeah.
It's either a tie between No Game, No Life or Konosuba. Kind of just depends on what you're talking about. It's a story and art and music and characters. That's for me. That's just gonna be No Game, No Life. But for straight up comedy, is Konosuba by far. I fucking love that. If you've not watched it, that is what I'm going to recommend to you 100% of the time. My favorite character is Darkness for reasons. But I've been reading the fan translations for the light novels and shit.
Yeah, so you're super into it.
I'm super into it. I've got most of the books. Another one I'm into is called Danmachi, or How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, which is getting a second season this next season.
Within the next 3 weeks or so.
Yeah. I'm very excited about that. I've got all the books. Well, they've probably released more, but I've read almost all of them that I have. But yeah, going back to Konosuba, the story, there really isn't much of one. It's just, it's an isekai. I'm sure most people know what Konosuba is, but for those who don't know, isekai is just
you stuck in another world, basically.
Yeah, basically, most of the time it's you get killed and then you go to heaven and they're like, oh, go to this other world, or you just straight up get teleported.
Mm-hmm.
and then you're just stuck there. So there's really not much of a story other than, oh, you're supposed to defeat this demon king. But
it's really just power fantasy.
Yeah.
Like something you watch to be like what's the word? Like imprint yourself on the main character or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, this would be so fun.
but no, Konosuba is a little bit different just because it's purely focused on comedy, rather than like your stereotypical like harem anime. Which I mean, there's still elements, but like,
yeah,
I don't want to
really,
spoil anything.
It really knows how to kind of like be aware, be self-aware, and that's really nice.
Yeah, and it is just so. It is really fun to watch, just because it is so funny and just laid back and not taking itself too seriously whatsoever. And I don't want to spoil anything because I've read ahead, so I know shit that happens. But like, I cannot recommend Konosuba enough to anybody. No Game No Life, it's a little bit more hardcore. It's more about the story and the games, but I'll leave Konosuba as my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So what about yours?
Yeah, I kind of backed myself into a corner with that question because I don't really know if I have a favorite anime. You know, like I have a favorite movie, I have a favorite band, I have a favorite food, but as far as anime goes, I don't know.
Who's your favorite character then from an anime?
Oh, that's even harder.
Oh God.
I'll just go with like my favorite genre is definitely isekai. It's a guilty pleasure, you know. But I'm not gonna lie, I have no reason to. It's just I don't know. Even if a show is trash, if I see isekai, you know, on like the list of shows coming out a season, I'll at least watch one episode, and more likely than not, I'll end up watching the whole thing. Maybe not paying 100% attention to it, but yeah.
Are you watching Shield Hero?
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah, I read the manga for that.
I also did.
I'm not a huge fan of Shield Hero just because like the other like it feels so forced. Like the beginning part is awesome. I think it's great. You know, Shield Hero setup is like the villain and whatnot, even though he's not. But like eventually, it feels so forced, and they're forcing the other heroes to be so stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like at some point, it kind of just becomes redundant, and you're like, like these people must have an IQ of 7.
Yeah, and it's like they're forcing them to be so weak, and like it's just everything just feels so forced after like the first like 5 or 6 episodes. It's just like, yeah. And then, like, you know, then it goes into, like, its stereotypical harem anime. It's like, oh, yeah, he's surrounded by his 2 lollies, then the one girl who was a lolly, and then, you know, magically transformed. So it's like, yeah, it's not that great. Not very good at all.
I guess thinking about it, back to your other question, favorite character, Rem. Favorite isekai, ReZero. So yeah, there you go. I don't know if ReZero is my favorite anime, but I definitely like that.
That one was a lot. It was more interesting just because it was so different.
The like subgenre of isekai, where it's like Konosuba, where it is an isekai, but it's trying to do something
different.
And like it was one of the ones that kind of did that first or earlier on. You know, there's still a stream of plenty of light novel adaptations that are just, you know, basic, but it seems like a lot of them, and I think Shield Hero is included in that list. Isekais are trying to be isekai, but also be like add like a twist to it, you know.
Yeah.
Like if Sword Art Online is like the All-Father beginning like baseline, then it's like
all 14 episodes were great.
Yep. Before season 1.5. Then like, you know, Konosuba is Sword Art Online isekai, but funny.
Yeah.
ReZero is Sword Art Online isekai, but with like horror drama tragedy kind of deal.
Yeah. And it definitely does feel like horror considering some of the ways they die.
And you don't really know what's going on for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say ReZero is probably one of the better ones.
Well, of course it is, if it's my favorite.
Yeah. You're always right. A little inside joke there. But, yeah, Garrick here is always right.
Yep, that's true.
But, yeah, so I'd say Konosuba my favorite anime.
And for the purposes, ReZero.
Yeah.
And the best girl is Rem.
Favorite character for me is Darkness. I haven't said that, by the way, which I know I did. But, yeah. I think we can wrap it up here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't really know how long you wanted the podcast to be. We have a couple more points, but I think those are easy enough to, like, break into a different episode.
Yeah.
This one
we're
here
already...
is a little bit.
Our next one, we can open up with that next time.
Right. And I guess I just realized now number 7 is favorite games, but
which we talked. Yeah, no, I wasn't. We have a list here, and I numbered them, but it's not. I didn't mean for it to be like.
Yeah, we kind of structured it in order, but like the interests ones kind of led into favorite games. So.
Yeah. And it's like we talked about moving out, which we can elaborate more on.
Yeah, that could be like an episode in and of itself.
Yeah, but yeah. So we'll wrap it up here, guys. Thanks for listening. I'll try to. Hopefully, you can get like an official Twitter, and I can link that down below. I'll maybe make I probably won't make an official Instagram, but I definitely have an official Twitter account. I'll link your YouTube channel.
Yeah,
just for the purposes of
of it be there.
Yeah. So
yeah, I guess thanks for
listening
to this very unstructured, unprofessional, first time ever sort of.
It's casual. It's casual.
Look forward to more.
Yeah, hope you guys subscribe and help out a lot. And yeah, see you next time.